Oh, you're rolling now.
That's awesome.
Would you like to introduce yourselves for my adoring video viewing public?
Go for it.
I am Faunia or Faunia Cole, which is who I was when I first met you, Mr. Rob Long.
And my name is Shawn Wissenant. I am the not as good half to Faunia Wissenant.
Oh. Okay, question 2. How do we know each other?
You want to go first?
I met you through this wonderful young lady. That was maybe our first year into marriage.
Maybe.
You guys had reconnected.
What year did you guys get married?
We got married in 2006.
Okay, we reconnected in 2008.
So 2 years
after
we were married, you were able to reconnect, and then we'd gone down to Bakersfield.
We were able to reconnect. You
yep.
like that? We
were able to. Thank you, Facebook.
And and then we had gone down and visited Bakersfield, and one of those visits stopped at your house, and that's when I got to meet you.
Yes.
Okay.
You actually babysat for us.
Yes.
We were meeting one of your friends.
Adam.
And you offered to babysit so we could have adult time.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Because you asked me if Kira, and you asked me if Kira could have ice cream, and I said yes, and you said, she's not eating it. I've never seen Kira not eat ice cream. A lot's changed now. She loves ice cream, but
but my kids were there, so I didn't have to do much of the babysitting myself.
Yeah.
In 08, Alex would have been 10, and Katie would have been 8.
Yeah.
There you go.
But wait, when I babysat, wasn't that in the Maywood house?
Yes.
No, that was the Eastridge house. Because we have the rock band pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, totally different house.
Was that? Did we also play rock band then?
Yep.
Yeah.
We played rock band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Alex and Katie are in those pictures too.
Yes.
Okay, so that's how Shawn knows me.
Yes. That's my half of the story.
Yep.
And he's sticking to it. I
think it's your third of the story, I think.
Back Bog Beast Bay would be probably the most concrete meeting, but we met actually at class.
Yep.
Movement class.
Yep.
Theater. Mandy. Yep. Yes.
What year?
Don't ask me.
I know what year.
He'll know. I don't.
I know what year.
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I lived in the dorms.
Only because I was still in high school.
Yes. Cradle robber.
Should I tell what year, or is that something we should keep between ourselves?
I have no care.
Okay, I had transferred from BC, and it was your first semester of college.
Yes. So that would have been...
It was fall of 1991.
I would say 91.
Oh, my bad. I was actually in junior high.
What school did you go to junior high?
I went to a school in Fresno called El Capitan. We wasn't even in Bakersfield yet.
So it was like Yosemite?
I don't know.
Well, El Capitan is a Yosemite reference, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the name of the school was El Capitan Junior High.
Okay.
And that was my 7th grade year, actually. Because I did not start high school until 1993. So, just, for all to know.
You know what's really, really wrong about this whole scenario is in my head I just went, shit, Kira's going to be 7th grade this year. That literally went in my head.
Yeah, there you go.
Yay.
What was the El Capitan Junior High School mascot?
The Eagles.
The Eagles?
The Eagles, the El Capitan Eagles.
My junior high school mascot, I went to Thompson Junior High, and at the time, our mascot was the Tyrolean, which is a mountain climber.
Really?
Yeah. They have since changed it to the Timberwolves because nobody knows what a Tyrolean is.
Timberwolf sounds a little bit more,
Yeah. Good, but I was at Thompson Junior High Tyrolean.
Interesting.
There you go.
El Capitan Eagles.
Yeah. I was Bulldogs.
In junior high?
Yep.
Because I know you were a Tehachapi High Warrior.
Yes, sir.
Because I was a West High Viking. And then I was a Renegade.
Yes.
And then we were both Roadrunners.
Yes.
Okay.
I went from Bulldog to Warrior to a Roadrunner to a Matador. Sea Suns. Cal State Northridge is Matadors, aren't they?
Yes.
When did you go to CSUN?
Speech pathology.
When was that?
That was...
When we reconnected.
I was there... Oh my God, when was I there?
It was after 2004. 'Cause that's when I
Yeah.
got out.
Okay, so it was in the dark ages between 2005 or 1995 and 2008.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that was how long it went between us seeing each
It took me a
other.
long time to get out of CSUN.
Doesn't it take everybody a long time to get out of Cal State Bakersfield?
But, yeah. Well, we won't even go down that road. That's just way too much information. We won't go down there.
There's stories there.
There's stories there.
Now you remember that this video is for me when I'm older and I have Alzheimer's.
No, those stories. How is that going to benefit your memory?
But that's the point. You have to tell the story on video so that each time I watch the video, I'll be like, this is a new story for me.
Yay.
Because I know you love the whip pan so much.
But see, I won't watch this, so I won't get this.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it. You can watch it. Yeah, I Movement, and then there was a random theater after that. It was like God was talking, and then all of a sudden it just went by.
What song was that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because your first before you went back to Movement in '91 was Back Bog Beast Bait.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
It was your senior project.
No.
It wasn't your senior
It
project?
should have been my senior
I
project.
thought that was your senior project.
No, you want to hear the story?
Sure.
Okay. I'll let you have the reaction shot. For some reason, I couldn't do a show. I don't remember what it was. Maybe I wasn't cast or the rehearsals didn't work out, but I wanted to do something. So I did a student project, which I got a ton of resistance to doing. So when Lapine's class a couple years later started doing Theater of New Voices, I was like, yeah, we kind of paved the way for you for that. But it wasn't my senior project.
I so thought that was your senior project.
I wish it had been, and I would love to rewrite history and go, that was my senior project, because I was actually proud of that show.
That was fun.
Now, Steve Walsh opted to write his own piece.
Yes.
And I went, oh, I want to do that. So I wrote this terrible piece of crap because I knew that I wanted to wear a cloak and I knew I wanted as many candles on stage as I could get. And that's all I had. So I wrote this terrible piece of dystopian science fiction that Arlie Hall and I did.
Oh!
And Dale Becker had to interrupt the show to put out one of the pallets of candles.
Because it's hard catching something on fire.
Yeah, the candles were melting because there was so much heat in the room.
Yeah.
And so they were dripping fire onto the stage.
Yeah.
So he interrupted the show to come put it out.
Yeah.
I got a C on the project. It was truly the worst thing I've ever done. And I wish I could make Back Bog Beast Bait my senior project because I loved that show so much.
That was an interesting show.
It was so much better than my senior project.
I personally feel now, had we gone back, I probably could have brought more to the character than then.
I feel that way about Lee from True West.
I could see that.
Jeff Mason directed True West. It was one of the 2 shows I acted in while I was the theater major at Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, I don't remember. It's School for Scandal. And
that was the other one, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, you never met Phil. Phil, Jerome.
I saw pictures.
Myself.
Yep.
What was her name? Wendy? What was her name? The brunette.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
She wasn't there for very long.
Because she did that dark makeup under her eyes that made her look tired in the role. Yeah.
Can't think of, that was it, right? Just the 4 of
It's a small cast, yeah.
Yeah, and I played.
And then Carol Baker Willie worked on it, and Rebecca Worley worked on it.
Yes, Rebecca, yes. And I was a sea bog witch.
Were you?
I was.
Goodness.
I was a sea bog witch.
Did you have a pointy hat?
Who knew that? No. I looked like a gypsy. Rude. You go straight to that for sea bog witch? Come on, we live in Louisiana right now. Hello, voodoo.
He's thinking Popeye Sea Hag.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we went real gypsy bohemian with it.
Oh, very
gypsy
cool.
Bohemian. Yeah. Cast a lot of spells.
Nice.
Nothing really happened.
Throw bones?
No. You see? See what we could do? We could add stuff. We could have my little...
We have to go back and do it again.
Yes.
We have to go back, Marty.
We have to go back.
It's
See,
your
we do
kids.
so much.
Crack the old rotten egg open.
Yeah? How... Let's see, now we're tying in things. I just saw, like, Robin Hood and Pirates of the Caribbean flash before my eyes, and that wasn't backlog.
And then during production of that, that's when I got the fracture in my finger.
See, but I didn't know that. You told me that later on.
I wore a brace through the show.
I know, but I didn't know how you got it.
Oh, okay. Because the character was supposed to be a left-handed gunslinger.
Yes.
And then I had to wear... Sorry, I had to wear a brace on that finger.
Yes. Because he cracked it. Because we were in movement at that time too, right?
Yep.
And Phil and him and I were in class, and he could tell it better, but it was something where he had to save me, and he physically went after Phil, and somehow he cracked his finger.
Ouch.
But I didn't know it was like...
Do you want me to flesh out that story?
If you want to.
Okay. The guest artist was the person running the class. You remember her?
Karen.
I don't remember her name. She was heavy into astrology.
Yeah.
She wanted to chart everybody.
Yeah, she wanted to chart everyone.
Yeah. And we were playing some exercise. It was like a big group improvisation that used the entire space, and it was essentially a big game of attacker-defender in a way.
Right.
And Phil had chosen this really aggressive, hostile character and was essentially harassing Faunia.
Yes.
And so I tried to intercede between Phil and Faunia, and I was putting my hands up to try and go like this, and he went to shove me.
At the same time.
And my hands were going up, and he caught me right there. And so he shoved my middle finger and jammed it in on itself. That's what happened.
Must have felt good.
Yeah, never had it treated. I just knew it hurt.
Yeah.
So I wore a splint until it went away. It was a hairline fracture. I found that out a long time because it still gets sore.
And it was like, I remember us going, "Are you okay?" Because he went, "Ow!" Like it wasn't like very dramatic as you would think. And then we.
Yeah, it was a jam.
Yeah. Ow! And shook his hand. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think like on that note, Andy ended it. She's like, "Okay, on that, let's stop and move on." So.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that's what she did. That was a fun class.
But then my left-handed gunslinger had to become a right-handed gunslinger.
Yeah.
So my left hand was jacked up.
There you go.
So that's how we know each other.
Yes.
Yes.
We know each other.
We're at 13 minutes right now.
Oh my word! Seriously?
Told you.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Who knew? So chatty.
Question 3 is the generic open-ended react to the trip in whatever way. You're aware I'm on this. We're in San Antonio, Texas right now.
We are. Our future home.
Yeehaw!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wish I was there to see the house with you.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be very cool.
Yeah, you'll be in Houston.
Yeah. Yeah. This weekend.
You think it's muggy here, which I do not think is muggy here. It's fabulous
Oh,
here.
dear God.
Houston? You just need to get a sweater.
Well, I got a hat. How's my
There
hat?
you go. Wear the hat.
Yeah. You'll definitely keep the hat.
That'll work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put the hat on.
Crocodile Dundee.
There
See,
you go.
he's Crocodile Dundee.
A little bit.
Or the dude, not because you look anything like him, but the monster dude that goes on the Mystics hunts. He doesn't do any anymore, but he was like on the History Channel or something. And you go and look at the
Chupacabra.
Yes. And Bigfoot, he'd like do all the investigation of the mythological.
I still have to cut a Chupacabra video. Because I came through Chupacabra territory already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
That's awesome.
Arizona, New Mexico, West Texas is Chupacabra
Did you do
territory.
the whole Bigfoot thing when you were in Oregon?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't see the Bigfoot videos from Willow Creek?
No.
Oh, I have a theory.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to Bigfoot headquarters. I was going to go to the museum, but they were closed. It was Sunday. I missed them by about 15 minutes.
Bummer.
But the visitor center had tons of stuff. And I did an interview with the visitor center person, and she said the first reported Bigfoot legend is the native peoples of the area who said that Bigfoot took barrels that no man could lift and hurled them at the camp. At which point I went, that's Donkey Kong.
Right. I guess played that video game.
Right. So I asked if the people in the camp, if the natives in the camp, were jumping the barrels and taking up sledgehammers to destroy them before they could. And so they didn't know. But I have a theory that Bigfoot is some representative of the Nintendo Corporation. I'm trying to track that down.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Total side note, just to show a little bit of, I don't necessarily say it's crazy, but creativity on my part.
Have you seen Bigfoot?
No.
Okay.
Yes. But I was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
And we were in Texas.
Okay.
And we were living in this really heavily wooded area. Now, I don't know if that was really heavily wooded. To me, at that age, it was heavily wooded.
Right.
And we're walking up this, I was on my dad's shoulders. We had checked the mail. And we were walking up this white gravel road back up to our house. And I heard noise. And I turned to look in there, and I saw Bigfoot. What did
Bigfoot look like?
He was big and hairy. I mean, he was tall, what you would imagine. He looked like Chewbacca. He looked like Chewbacca.
And you were 4?
And I was 4.
Did anybody document it?
No. My head documented it.
I'm looking for something I could actually include.
I have no footage, no.
Damn.
Unless you can find a way to, like, you know, play back the vision in my head back at that age.
So at 4, why did you think it was Bigfoot?
He looked like Bigfoot.
How did you know what Bigfoot was at the age of 4?
I just knew it was Bigfoot. I wouldn't say I called him Bigfoot at that time, but I saw him, and then when I saw what everyone claims Bigfoot looks like, it was like, that's what I saw.
So at the time, you didn't know Bigfoot.
No.
You just went, oh, big hairy dude looks like Chewbacca.
Yeah, and I asked my dad, like, what was that? He's just some animal. So he was probably thinking it was like a deer or something because he didn't see anything.
Did your dad see it?
No.
When's the next time you're going to see your dad?
In
half an hour.
Half hour.
Okay, I was hoping that was the case. When you go back there, can you ask your dad about that?
Okay.
And videotape it, and then send me that conversation?
Okay. Thank you, Dad.
And where was it? Where did this sighting happen?
Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, Texas.
Okay, well, here's another connection for you.
Okay.
Beaumont is one of the 3 key creators of the Twilight Zone. The 3 main writers on the Twilight Zone were Rod Serling,
Yes.
Richard Matheson,
Yes.
and Charles Beaumont. And the 3 of them are responsible for the majority of the classic episodes that everybody loves.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then the 4th horseman was the producer, a guy named Buck Houghton.
Okay.
Everybody else was a contributor, but the greatness of the show is those 4 guys.
All right.
You lived in Beaumont, Texas.
I lived in Beaumont, Texas.
Is it named for Charles Beaumont?
No clue.
Can you
No clue.
can you investigate that as well?
Sure.
Because you may have discovered, I mean, in Buffy the Vampire Slayer terms, they would call it a hellmouth.
Right.
But it could just be an entrance to the Twilight Zone.
It could be. It's possible.
Beaumont, Texas.
Yep.
Sighting a Bigfoot.
Yep.
You heard of the Mugion monster?
No.
Because I got this cryptozoological map, and so I'm trying to check out all of the places on the map until I hit the Chupacabra, which I haven't done a video for yet.
Right.
Everything I've encountered has fallen into one of 2 categories.
Okay.
It's either a Bigfoot relative or it's a Loch Ness Monster relative.
Okay.
Okay. And Tahoe Tessie, Caddy, which is off the coast of Washington and Canada and Oregon. Oh, so you've heard of Caddy?
Yeah.
The people I talked to in Washington had never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
It's like the Nessie up there. It's like Loch Ness Nessie up there.
Have you seen it?
No.
Not even at the age of 4?
No.
Okay.
I was Texas homebound.
Okay.
So yeah. No.
There was the Lake Pend Paddler.
Have not heard that one.
Which is like a plesiosaur, Loch Ness Monster kind of thing.
Okay.
Then there was the Flathead Lake Monster, which turned into this Lovecraftian episode, and I had to get out of there as quickly as I possibly could. I was scared. I was legit scared that I needed to get out of that town.
That is awesome.
Yeah. But the first one I looked at is the Mugion Rim in Arizona.
Okay.
Where there's what's called the Mugion Monster.
Okay.
And it is a thinner version of Bigfoot. It's like Bigfoot if he didn't eat well.
Okay.
So that was northeastern Arizona.
But that would make sense. Think about it. Arizona is not really.
No, this is the forested part.
Oh.
I mean, it's heavily wooded on the north side of Arizona. You would be shocked.
Okay.
I was shocked at how beautifully forested northern Arizona is.
Think like Flagstaff.
I would say Flagstaff is the only place that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flagstaff. I stayed the night in Show Low.
Okay.
After checking out the Mogollon Monster. And I'm wondering if the northeastern Arizona Mogollon Monster would be the same thing that you saw in West Texas and Beaumont.
That could be. It could be. Like I said, to me, and obviously referencing Star Wars, it was Chewbacca.
Right.
So, I mean, like in all shapes. The height, the fur, even the width. I mean, obviously he didn't have the little bullet gun thing, whatever you want to call it, the belt around him.
Bandolier.
Yes, he was just, I don't know.
What year were you 4?
He was born in 73,
right.
So let's count.
That's what I would have guessed. So 77.
77.
Like right after Star Wars came out.
Oh, that would be so funny.
So maybe it was Chewbacca.
No, because I didn't see Star Wars then.
So wait, you admit it might be transference?
No. Because I didn't even make that connection. No! There's no transference.
I need you to talk to your father about this.
I'll talk to my father about it.
And
he won't believe me, though. He'll probably won't remember.
Ask him when you first saw Star Wars 2.
My mom might remember that one.
Okay. But do some investigation for me.
He's not a big sci-fi guy. I don't know what's his problem, but he's not a big sci-fi guy.
It's okay.
So, anyways.
So, other reactions to the trip?
Oh, because, yeah, you haven't done that. You totally went on a side note there.
There's no such thing as a side note. That was exactly what it was supposed to be.
So, my reaction to the trip is that it's awesome. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And the ability to go do something like this is not, it's not a thing. So the fact that it is happening is awesome in and of itself. So I applaud it and keep on. That's me. That's me all over.
Do you want to add any advice? I appreciate all that, by the way. Thank you.
Absolutely. Other than what you've already done is perfectly documented in your entire trip, making sure you stop and actually smell the roses.
Yeah.
That you're not just, all right, I got to get here. Like while you're on your way there,
yeah.
You like know, oh wow, this is what is on the way there. Which I think you're doing a great job of it. I really do.
I think I was doing a better job of that before there ended up being an end stop to the trip. Like I have to be back in Bakersfield August 12th.
Gotcha.
And so, unfortunately, when I was driving through West Texas, I went through, I think Fort Sumner might even be in New Mexico.
Okay.
But when I was driving through Fort Sumner, there was a Billy the Kid museum.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
And I wanted to stop there, and I was like, oh, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Because this is a big drive, and I have a lot of things I definitely want to hit.
It takes more than 5 minutes to get through Texas.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially since I was driving in the proximity of a tornado-based storm that had tennis ball-sized hail.
Took precedence there. I think that's probably a good idea.
All right, let's get through this.
I'm glad I was ignorant of what danger I was in. But I looked at the map of the storm, and it was exactly where I had been.
You're like,
Even when I stayed in Abilene, it was on the east side of the storm system.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Your turn.
My turn?
Yep.
I think, well, not to reiterate what he said, but I think it is a really awesome opportunity. I think you are I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you to see more of what life is. I think a lot of us get wrapped up in our little bubble or our little square, and we do the whole, oh, if only kind of thing, and you have a wonderful opportunity to do those if only, and you're doing it, and I think it's fabulous. I really do. I think it's awesome.
I have a follow-up question brewing, but I'm not sure how to put it.
Really? Don't go PC. Just say it.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's. I totally agree with you, because every time I get out of my own, I mean, the biggest culture shock to my life ever has been when I went to Dublin in 2016.
Right.
And I saw how other representatives of other nations approached improvisation, and all of a sudden, a lot of my quest has been to be good, and to be engaging, and to be entertaining, and how often you're getting laughs and things like that. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks that outside the United States, nobody gives a shit like that. I mean, the idea of American excellence is an illusion. And it's so strange to recognize, because you talk to people and they go, no, it isn't. Yeah, I get you're pushing yourself to do the best you possibly can, but you're the only standard for that, really.
Yeah. We have, I think all of us have an idea of what's perfect. And I don't think, I almost wish that the word perfect could be discarded from our language, because everyone has a different image of that. And I don't think that gives it justice to what your true self is. And I know there's like this big push right now to be your true you, or just be you, or whatever, but you're kind of doing that. And through you being open to every experience you're experiencing, it is, you are finding your true you, yourself. And I think everybody strives to do that. I think people put what they think they should be, and when they think they should be a certain way, they actually stifle themselves by doing that, instead of just kind of going with the flow and doing what feels right. That whole instinct thing, that whole, like, the heart, the mind, the gut, everything, like, I've always tried to, didn't always listen, but I always tried to. When the three of those felt right, generally it was right, whatever was happening. So, and I just think that's kind of part of the thing that you're doing.
Well,
like you're saying, you're going with the flow, and I think that a lot of people need to do that.
And a big part of that, I think, is your own self-discovery. Because, you know, like, I consider me finding myself when I got out of the Navy. But there's always been the next event that has allowed me to grow beyond who that person was. I'm not the same guy I was in 2004 when I got out of the Navy.
No.
So it's the continual self-improvement and self-growth based off of everything that we go through. Because we're never going to be perfect. You know, in our own eyes, we're never going to be perfect. And so that continual opportunity to see the next experience and, man, how do I become that much better because of what I got to go through?
True. Everyone's big on no regrets, but I think a lot of people have inner regrets, and I think you are going with that thought process of no regrets.
Okay, I'm going to pause you for a second, because I have a question that you've just segued into very well. But we are at 28 minutes and 20 seconds.
What?
And I know that the phone will stop recording at 30.
Okay.
So this is the first time I've recorded a video with one of my friends. It's gone into a second part. I mean, I had one that I had to do a retake on because we said stuff that we couldn't publish. But this one, this is part 2 to continue from where you just left off.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop and then record again.
Okay.
Okay.